Hey everybody, how are we all doing? Welcome to Live Taps and Backstabs. We're back. And we're back on the Rogue. I have been incredibly. Oh, look at that! It just hangs forever. Hoya! That's gonna be the thumbnail of the video. Hoya! Welcome in everybody. I hope we're all right. Welcome to Live Taps and Backstabs. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about the Rogue, the Dialogue, and the Necromancer for Pantheon: The Rise of the Fallen. So I thought I'd do a video just on some road feedback on some abilities, like some tweaks, some changes, some suggestions, like the biggest thing that me as a rogue wants to be able to do, get rid of some abilities, delete some abilities, change some abilities, that kind of thing. Anyway, like a top 5. So I kind of want to do a top 5. Hiya! That's still cool. Yeah, so I'm just stood up here with my rogue epic. It looks awesome. It's not the rogue epic. It's it's the oiled metal knife. It's from the Goblin Caves. I think it's from the Goblin Caves anyway. It just looks like the rogue epic from EverQuest 1 Ragebringer. Yeah, that's his standing posing knife along with the actual rogue. Well, I don't know. It's not really an actual rogue epic, is it, in Pantheon? But it's pretty iconic. The purple dagger. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about some of the things, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was this beautiful skill here, which I need to put the spell effects on. My spell effects are turned off for the raid. There we go. Fantastic, just disappears into smoke. Oh, he's got some little purple stars as well there. So stealth. I forgot about the purple star. It's still one of my favourite. Spell effects. Yeah. So stealth for a rogue is really frustrating because it's really cool in terms of being able to sneak around places. It's iconic and important to get the backstab in there as well. Like also, if we take Fan of Knives off and we put Shadowfall on, we need stealth to use Shadowfall. We need stealth to use the traps. We need stealth to use the mares. We need stealth to use all sorts of things. And the main thing that I want to be able to do as a rogue is more ways to get into stealth during combat, because stealth should be this big ability that we weave into things and weave into. I don't like the word rotations, because rotations suggests that you just do 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and you just set these abilities up just to go 1 2 3 4 all the time, and I don't really like that. But I want the ability to be able to weave things into the way I play combat on the rogue, and that includes stealth. And the biggest thing at the moment in the game is that Visionary Realms love putting AEs in the game. So you go into combat, you sit here in stealth, and then the mob that you're fighting area affects you, hits everybody, breaks you out of stealth, and then you can't do anything. you can't do anything. As a rogue like this, you can't do anything. Like you're losing your opportunities, so you can't Sinister Strike's backstab. You've lost your stealth, so you can't jump Shadowfall. You've lost your stealth, so you can't mez or trap something. You've lost your stealth. Like it's utterly frustrating. And as such, it's not. And there's a difference here. I don't want to be able to escape artists. I'm not talking about escape artists. I'm not talking about going into stealth and dropping aggro. I'm just talking about going into stealth when you're in a fight. So whether that's it needs to be an ability. So it should be like the only way at the moment. And this is the argument that I had with one of the. Anyway, this is an argument that I had to say. Well, you have a way to get into stealth called Flash Bomb. So Flash Bomb is linked to something else which is useful, which is a stun. So we can stun a mob with Flash Bomb. So that's really useful outside of getting back into stealth, and it's locked to a lockdown as well, locked to a cooldown. Locked to a lockdown? It's locked to a cooldown, so it's a minute cooldown, so we can only go back into stealth once a minute, and if we need to interrupt or stun the mob, we can't do that because we've already used it to go back into stealth. So it's utterly frustrating. We need an ability in here that's about a 30-second 45-second cooldown, somewhere around there, that allows us to do some damage. Like, imagine it's a flank attack or something, allows us to do some damage and then slip away into the shadows. So distracting him on one side and slipping away into the shadows on the other side. Like, that then allows us to be able to, in combat, drop down a mez. In combat, drop into stealth, drop down a very, very quick trap. In combat, drop back into stealth, gain a little bit of sinister strikes, come back out of stealth and backstab. Just it provides some more interesting gameplay loops that we can go around. And like I say, I hate the word rotation, but it gives us some more interesting and some more varied rotations that we can play around with. There's the other thing as well with stealth is a lot of abilities need to not knock you out of stealth. For instance, Corrosive Brew definitely needs to not knock you out of stealth, because Corrosive Brew is fantastic, but it shouldn't be counted as a damaging attack that breaks you out of stealth. You should be able to throw Corrosive Brew and it stay in stealth in the same way that you can, and I think this is right. No, this is wrong. This one breaks you out of stealth as well. Yeah, that one breaks you out of stealth as well. So this was a later ability. Let's just remove evasive maneuvers for a second. Some of the earlier toxins, if I'm correct, some of the earlier toxins, when you're casting the earlier toxins, they don't break you out of stealth. So if I go into stealth and then cast that, I'm making it. And also this has a graphic as well. The other toxins don't. So this synthetic toxins keeps you in stealth, which is perfect. And then when I apply synthetic toxins, where's the synthetic one? Synthetic. I think it's a synthetic one. Once I apply the synthetic, it doesn't break me out of stealth either. There we go. Perfect. I think the venomous one does. Let me just check. No, that one keeps in as well. So it's the venomous toxin when you make the venomous toxin. Basically, there's lots of abilities in here which need to leave you in stealth when you're making them. Like I'm making my toxin here, and then it breaks me out of stealth, which is annoying. Well, it's not annoying. It's not annoying. You just press your stealth button and you go back into stealth. So it's not annoying, but that needs to be just tweaked. And I realised that these ones were added in later, so I'm guessing they added them in as new abilities. They didn't copy and paste, which is good, because they shouldn't be copy and pasting things, because that's how you get duplicates of bad things. But they shouldn't be breaking out of stealth. Putting Toxic Elixir on shouldn't break you out of stealth. Putting that horrifically bad, stupid, explosive decoy thing shouldn't break you out of stealth. I dislike that thing. I dislike this for what it says about the rogues in this game. It's it's dumb. Anyway, so there's the way stealth works and the way stealth links in with the class. I think we just need one ability, just one. We just need one ability that does a little bit of damage and drops us back into stealth. And like I said, I am not talking about dropping aggro. Escape Artist and Sprint to the Shadows are completely separate there. They need to work more often, so they need to completely drop aggro more consistently. At the moment, the only way you can sort of make it work is if you're stunning the mob and interrupting its casting, or making sure it's not going to cast on you. Like Sprint to the Shadows is a little bit better, because you can get some distance and you're kind of kiting the mobs, and then you're dropping aggro, so that works a little bit better. But Escape Artist is terrible, doesn't work. So that would be really useful. The only thing I want is that when you're in combat, I just want a way to then be able to go back into stealth like that. Now, there's going to be a little bit of skill and a little bit of there's going to be a skill ceiling to this, because if you're fighting a mob, and there's lots of mobs now in the game that do area of effect, they do big AoEs, like the Pyrosols in the Enclave, for instance, which are an interesting fight for rogues. Actually, I have some really cool thoughts on the Pyrosols, and I think the Pyrosols highlight some of the not the challenge. Well, not the issues, but like some of the cool things about the rogue in a Pyrosaur fight. Anyway, the skill ceiling for this is that you're going to have to know when the mobs are going to AoE so that you can stealth either just after they've done an AoE and they're not going to AoE for a while, or you know at what percentage of their health they do AoE so that you can make sure you go back into stealth, gain your resources, drop your resources down that you wanted to use, and then start attacking again before it's going to AoE and break you back out of stealth again. So I'm not talking about dropping aggro, I'm just talking about going back into stealth during combat. And I don't think that's a big ask, honestly. I think it is going to give all sorts of interesting ways in which you could play. And like, for instance, if you get an ad halfway through a fight as a rogue, you are useless. You can't do anything. Like I can stun the mob and then try and mez it as it's coming in or something, but then my stun's gone. Like maybe I'd already stunned the mob because I was doing an interrupt or something on it, so I've got nothing. I haven't got any ways of helping out and doing things like that. And a good skill ceiling for a class like a rogue is giving you the ability to do things like that, in my opinion. So if you are in a fight, being able to drop back into stealth, swap your targets, mez the mob, come back to the mob that you were fighting, finish it off, and then come back and like slow, debuff, trap, whatever the mob that you'd mezzed is really critical. I think it's really good. I don't think it's too much to ask. I don't think it's going to make them overpowered. It's not going to make Visionary Realms think we're overpowered or anything like that. We just need another way of getting into stealth, and then all our abilities that are even remotely stealthy need to not break us out of stealth. So Toxic Elixir is one. We can't have that breaking you out of stealth. Making all the later poisons is another one. We can't have those. We can't have searing and anticoagulant toxins breaking us out of stealth when we're making them. Toxins is a completely separate little kind of cool thing as well, because I really want to be able to make them rather than you just learn them. And what was the other one? Corrosive Brew. Corrosive Brew needs to not break you out of stealth. The amount of kind of arguments, well, not really arguments, but discussions I have with other rogues is, do you Corrosive Brew first or do you backstab first? Like with Sinister Strikes, do you Corrosive Brew and then backstab, or do you backstab and then Corrosive Brew? Because like it's pretty much of the muchness, because backstab is supposed to bypass some of the armor, but Corrosive Brew removes all the armor. But then if you're Sinister Strikings and you're backstabbing coming out of Sinister Strikes, coming out of stealth, then it improves it even more. Like it's all sorts of, the first attack from stealth gains additional armor penetration, and then backstab has armor penetration as well. Like it's just allow us to Corrosive Brew and stay stealthed. I think that would be really, really cool. So that's the one for me. I think that's the big one for me. There's lots of kind of little tweaks, like going around and like turning the dials. Like backstab would be really nice if it did a little bit more base damage based on it would be really nice if backstab was based on weapon damage and things like that, but that's all just kind of dial turning and dial tuning and damage tuning and things like that. Like that's the critical thing for me. The really, really cool thing for me is that I would really like rogues to be able to get back into stealth during fight in another way. So we just want another ability, and the challenge then, of course, is trying to fit that ability onto our bar. Like this is not going anywhere. Like my smoke trick is not going anywhere. Escape Artist arguably is probably not going anywhere, particularly because you have to have it up when you have Sprint for the Shadows on there. Shadow Clone, you could probably swap that out. Like Shadow Fall, I kind of tend to swap out between Fan of Knives as and when like things are happening. Like that's probably the slot that swaps out the most. Corrosive Brew never goes anywhere. Like that is always on here. It's 40% for 5 minutes, 40% armor class debuff. There's nothing better in the game. Like why would that go anywhere? Blackjack Kick is not going anywhere because that's our main use, our main resources. That's how we gain our main resource. The same with Bloodletter. Bloodletter's a fantastic little bleed damage, and then of course the backstab. So it's going to be challenging to fit it on there, which is good. Like, I've been playing the Necromancer recently, and the Necromancer, for a class that they sort of rushed out, and did all the abilities for seemingly very, very quickly and got them all in. There's a lot of abilities in there that I swap out an awful lot. Like, I counted all the abilities I used on my Necro for a group the other week, and it was 20. Like, I swapped in and out 20 abilities, and I was using 20 abilities, just doing 22 or something. Anyway, it was an awful lot. So yeah, that's the big one for me. I think it would be really, really cool. Hopefully that argument and that kind of like little discussion and highlighting on the reasons why it's going to be really useful has helped. So yeah, that would be really, really cool. So that's number one. That is the first thing. And to be honest, that could probably be a video all on its own. We should probably just make this video why rogues need more stealth. And I've just accidentally hit smoke bomb again because I got my fingers on the wrong point on the keyboard. So yeah, why rogues need stealth? We need more ways of getting into stealth. More ways of more ways of using stealth would be even better. Like if we had another form of a stealth attack that was maybe if you give backstab a longer cooldown and then you give us like eviscerate or something and make eviscerate has to be from the flank of the mob or something, and that's on a separate cooldown to backstab, that would be quite cool. And it does, maybe that one does like a little bit of a snare to the mob as well. It breaks their legs or it goes into the side and staggers them a little bit. Give us a what is it, disorientate. So yeah, maybe that would be quite cool. Okay. Well, there we go. That was, I waffled. I waffled way more than I thought I was going to do in that video. So this is going to be part one. So part one is stealth. So that is just a video purely on stealth, which I think is valid. It's fair. Stealth is the iconic ability. It's the really important ability that allows the rogue access to other abilities. That allows you to weave things into other abilities. So I think it's fair that stealth kind of gets its own video. Anyway, it ended up being a very, very long video with everything in. So I have trimmed this down. So this is part one, which is all about stealth. Part two will be coming very, very soon. You can check that out in my YouTube channel. Yeah, part two is going to be all the other things that we're going to be talking about. So we've got utilities in there. We've got toxins in there. We've got a little bit of a chat about pickpocketing and things like that. So if you want to check out part two, then go and do that now. But until then, I will see you in Terminus, everybody. If you see me around, I'm on Black Moon. My name is obviously Solo, the amazing best rogue on Terminus. And I will see you later. And remember everybody, if you are a rogue, get down into the Goblin Caves and get yourself the Rogue Epic. Yeah. It's not. It's honestly, it's just because it looks just like Ragebringer from EQ2, from EQ1. So that's the only reason I've got it. It just looks really, really cool. So yeah, Visionary Realms. If you're watching, get this graphic, get that model on an endgame dagger, please. Thank you very much. Right, thanks very much, everybody. Take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, drop a comment down below for what you think about stealth. What is your top thing that you want changed, tweaked, added for the rogue? And I will see you next time. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.